Welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we want to explore this book place here. Let's see. This book has a rose, a pistol and a half-naked dame on its cover. The book appears to be erotica, but without actual erotica. Okay? On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. The book is titled Men from Yelmdal and the Wildfire. This book is about pâté. This book you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. It takes willpower to even read the author's name, Jan Kors from Igornia. Book about boyardero culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. And a book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Okay. A working class woman. You see a sturdy woman humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books. A good one.
Yes, hello?
She nods, her attention fully focused on the readings. Who are you?
No one. I'm just a working class woman.
Yeah, that's in your name. She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working? What are you doing?
Looking for something to read.
She reverts her intention to a worn-out paperback. Phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm a
I know
policeman.
you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
You need the help of a policeman? I watch her browse books. Her hands move over the book covers, the tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking. Maybe your husband is missing. My husband? No, he's not. So where could he be? I don't know, at home now, or drinking with his friends, working? Where's this going, officer? So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where your husband is. Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is, not all the time. Wouldn't you like to? No? She looks you straight into the eye, her right foot is tapping nervously. I can totally help you find your missing husband. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband. She has, though. Her husband is totally lost. You should tell her that it's okay. It's okay. What? It's alright to not know where your husband is. Nothing shameful in that. Who said anything about shame? My husband is not missing. But he is, you can feel it. Or maybe it's something else then. Maybe your children are missing. No, absolutely not. Okay, so where are they? Are you a policeman or a nanny? I'm a nanny. Where are they? They're not missing, sir. You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance. What if something horrible has happened? What if they are dead? That's a bad vibe you've got before. Ooh. What if something awful has happened? What if they are in the sewers? What? That's just my daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Jamrock. There's nothing to worry about. They are almost grown up now today. They're past the age. They need me protecting them from everything, you know. I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they? My youngest girl is 16. It's just shy of 16, Jolie. Jenny is turning 18 next month, but we shouldn't even be talking about them. And can you describe me their appearance? Any features that stand out? Something to make identifying a little easier? Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you they are not missing? That they are in Jamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party? Did someone say party? You could use a party, hunt it down. It's for the investigation. I'm trying to be professional. There's no investigation here, I can tell you that. She picks up a book and tries to concentrate. A flock of seabirds passes by. Maybe your cockatoo is missing. I don't mean to disrespect, but you're being a bit of a cockatoo here. For what's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge them at this point. What do you mean I'm being a cockatoo? Nothing. Go read up on them if you're interested. There's a great book in the bookstore. Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain, or your heraldic bird? Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for the tip. Find your heretic bird. That's all for the moment. I'll let you read. The woman before you nods and returns to a reading. I have to find my heretic bird. And this girl.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold those horses, little girl. What's a book? What's a postcard? What's a board game? Don't be ridiculous. I know all these things. You're fooling nobody. Don't you sass me.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name? My name's Annette, sir. My mum, her name's Placence. She owns the store. She's inside, minding the register or organizing the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly rolls her eyes wide as if recording something. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. And you're standing out here in the cold because I'm signaling that the store is open, otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime romance and biographies of famous people. A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling, but she's cold. You're cold. Can I help in some way? Kind of you to offer, sir. She doesn't know what else to say. What could you do to help her with her anyway? I should have a word with the store owner, maybe. Oh no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Isn't going to school more important than this? Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life, you succeed. How's the business going? Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Behind her the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed in what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go bankrupt. Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. Narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here. Yes, please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. What about the other failed businesses? Nothing really, sir? That Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there. How does this curse manifest itself? It doesn't manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I like it better when we are talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations, no such thing. Anything else you want to talk about? Enough about the curse. What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. Why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kinda like a puzzle where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. You don't look much like a policeman. She examines you as if to find something policeman-like. Well, what does a cop look like then? Didn't mean to be offended, sorry sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway, it's your mind. Not head-shite, heads. Flexibility. There are millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer. Isn't that very dangerous? Policemen live and breathe danger, little girl. Mullen obviously lacks the chameleonic skill. Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work? Sir, the cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval, like in the books. What is romance? It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. What about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out to just fine in the end. What about when both of the men are bad? These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody really wants to read a story like that. What if it's written really well? Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. What about when everyone is poor? That's not really a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Sometimes you have to write about real life things. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people and everyone is happy in the end. What about a book where men and lady business doesn't work out at all? I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Man. Yeah, you think she has one about an excruciatingly painful breakup? I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. She pauses, trying to figure out the appropriate answer. No, think about it. One where they plunge into a torrid spiral of pain and recrimination, only it's really long and drawn out, scarred for life, phantom limb? No, I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell? Alright, I'll ask your mom. Yes, she knows books. What was that, an idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain? You clearly have issues you need to address. Later, when you get the chance, you should address these issues by getting drunk. That will show them. That's enough romance for me. Add other questions. Who are these famous people? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers and musicians, those kinds of people? There's usually something extraordinary about them. She scratches her cold reddened cheek, then continues. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them. Reading those doesn't make the readers more famous, does it? But it does make the famous people more famous. Famous for vain people have better things to do. Okay, sir. Who's that? Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice, if a bit distressed. She's your aunt? No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books a lot. Why is she distressed? I think she has a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Hello again, sir.
Okay. I'm going to deduce something now. The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that? Hey, why do you keep your hands folded? What do you mean, sir? She looks wary. She knows where this is going. You can show them to me. She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two with a little interest. A facade of true professionalism. He is far more intrigued by the situation than his poise reveals. You heard me. Hands up. She brings out her reddened hands. Her nails are frayed, nearly shoot down to the flesh. You bite your nails. And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? There were a few other hands. Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. She actually is impressed. This is more like a defensive reflex. Want more? Bet I can figure out why you'd bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic. You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Maybe so, sir? Okay, I know it's a bad habit and I shouldn't. I hope this entertained you. It was okay, sir. There's more than that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same. You think so? Fine, do better. Do something about me. You're quite sober. The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort. Wait, how do you know I'm usually not? Because you usually aren't. And I'm having a grand time. I sure hope you are, sir. There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar somehow. There's something you're missing.
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you
What
here
is
for
going
more
on
books?
here? Why does this feel familiar? Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before. Hang on, so you know me? We've met before? Yes, I stand in this spot all the time. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong. Did I ever talk to you? Of course. You stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you. Thanks, I'm trying. Yeah, I can see. You don't have party eyes anymore. The lieutenant slowly, ever so slowly, realizes something. Party eyes. Yes, of course, that makes sense. I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all. Party eyes? You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed? It certainly looks odd on a man. The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah, you should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy. Does that mean I've been partaking in narcotics? Oh baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing. So why didn't you tell me you knew me to begin with? I didn't know I had to do that. Thanks, I've learned something about myself today. I'm glad I could help you, sir. Can we talk to you again? Nope. Can we can't buy the books from here. Okay, so we have to go inside for that. Let's do that. Go into the bookstore. Okay. Let's look around first. Gift books and molten candy. Men from Yelmla series. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Yelmla somewhere. Look through. Rows and rows of Yelmdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Men from Yelmdal and the Mammoth Riders. Men from Yelmdal return to Yelmdal. And the solipsistic men from Yelmdal and the Yelmdal men. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100? Men from Yelmdal and the sages at the end of the world? Men from Yelmdal and the False God? And the scorched earth? The Yelmdal colonies? Swamp beasts? Snow crabs? Is that all? Not even close. The forest of slaves? Under the lake? Burning? The trial of death? A Pasterna combat game book set in the world of Yelmdala man, and so much more. Gorkeep, tell me about the Muscleman books. Oh, men from Yelmdal. They are awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with a little imagination and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What doesn't matter? However, the customer is always right, they say. they're all the same. If you're a novice of the series, I recommend Yelmdalaman, The Man from Yelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. And we can buy the book. It's expensive. Do any of the books call out to me? Nope. I assume I can find another book that's better for me. Let's look here. Old sport magazines tucked away in a dark corner. The book collects the national recipes of Ada. They are all about lake trout. Okay. Mountain of board games. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Viral-related merchandise. Look through the pile of Viral-related items. An endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welcome Compendium 2nd Edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katuak, Boreal Creature Companion, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Viral, Cavern of Velcrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Viral 3rd Edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes a fantastic adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's a 3rd Edition Mega Setting supplement, so it makes sense. Doorkeep, what board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classical for sure. Perhaps you would like Archipelagos of Insolent, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family you can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends and family or family? Have I children, a family? It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you. Look at me, who would want to have children with me? Don't be so hard on yourself, sir, you just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family. For playing with friends, I recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilization. It will cost 12 real. So what about all these viral things? Lousy hours there, no role-playing games are popular amongst those types. You know who are into those kinds of things? Personally, I don't like it, not at all. I've heard them turn people into occult enthusiasts. They have rituals where they try to summon entities, highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though. Okay. Then we have this, where we have to check later. I have to talk to her first. Maybe she will send me there, so it's not as bad. A quaint picture book brochure, very powerful. From A to Zreek, a guide to well-behaved cockatoo. A silver-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open, looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. From A to Zreek, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Flip through the pages. Turns out that there are many different cockatoo species and they all have behavioral problems. What about this guide to cockatoo, Scoutkeeper? It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. I could steal it. No minus for... Okay. I mean, I have a quest for that. I could just put on my interfacing gloves. I have a 58% chance. Let's steal it. Yeah. You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tome of cockatoos into your pocket. It's quite a challenge, but eventually the guide of cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort. It's here. We have to read it. Okay. And up there. Tome of Fascist Magic. Rather candid. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. What? Fascist magic. Whatever. This stand. Crime novels. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Look through. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on needs and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction is just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books found on the shelf? Sure thing. Dick Mullen. On the Job, Get Me, The Starwood Adventures, The Murder in the Orchard, The Sordid Affair, Killing is Declared, Murder House, Final Case, an obvious lie, In the Clock Tower, The Ordeals, Dauntless, Funeral Pyre, The Murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve the case. Are there any more? Yes, there's also The Dane Who Did It, Farewell. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales, A Dark Tide Turns, Tragedy Calls, another one with fake death, and of course Dick Mullen the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, he must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? What's all this crime fiction or crimes, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes? We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer apparently, you should buy all these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Oh, and I don't want to buy them. Reaction speed. Oh, it worked. Your quick eyes notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. Title reads Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity? A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Why does it speak to me? Could it be the motives of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy full of contradictions. Dick Mullen, the Mistaken Identity. Can also take that. What's new? That one. I have checked on that, didn't I? Okay. Let's look at this first. Another boring book, just discarded here. Okay, this statue is part of the bookcase. Shelf of biographies. The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Look through the display. Browsing through the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. It chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Ravacolian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and running cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the short. Keep reading them, is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long. She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Time is commerce. Anything of note here? I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's a important educational tool, delving into the depth of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. Who or what is an innocence? A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understanding of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. So you recommend it? Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. You feel like you should get this one? Definitely, it's important. Somehow there's something personal inside. Okay. We have to buy lots of books, and we don't have the money for that. Map wall. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They are held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The map looks old and faded. Your eyes catch a map of Insulindine, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. Insulindine. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulinic Ocean. The largest northeast is Le Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Simonis Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, or just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulinic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands in the north coast of Caillou. In a bookstore, it's you. Can you see cities on the island? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozone, Fond-de-l'Air, and Vermandot. On Archipelagos, Corrientes-Morin, Villiers. On Semenine, Ordouvet. And on Laurentide, the aura of the seven seas. Lost like pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce torn apart by history. Look at the edges. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth, Grad is the northeast azimuth, Samara is the east azimuth, Seol is the west azimuth, Islas, they are called. Connections to other words. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are, distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dusk. Look at the map of Revachol. The north coast of a verdant island is shadowed by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and in construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Maris, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacities. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. And west of the river, Coron. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Faubourg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. And Martinez. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have, but it's still something. Streets and sodium lights. The sky, the word. You're still alive. Martinez. It's not really a map, it's a tourist thing, a picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. It's the game. It says 48. Still, its detail could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling and wrecks there. Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer, the map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore, and besides, you could scarcely afford them. They are quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Why is it so cheap? That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. from when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. That place does not look good, like a successful tourist trap, does it? What happened then? They didn't get far. For some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. I could steal it. Or just buy it for 90 centimes. I'm buying it. Always good to be informed on your surroundings. And I got the map of Martinez. I could interact from here, but do I have it here? Yes, we have it. Okay, we have the Martinez waterfront. We are inside this building now. We can go around that corner to that building. Okay. Interesting. Ah, and that one is... Ah, that's what I'm seeing from here. That's the tree where the thing is hanging about. That's... Oh, okay, so from there I'm getting behind here, and from there I'm getting behind here. Okay. That's a very helpful map. Let's interact with the map here. The wall maps features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez with direction to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner. Trace a path through the grid. Your finger moves through the various streets across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Gaspard over Saint-Brun and Martinez North, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication himself. For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal, then press the map tab. Okay, we are standing here. I know where we are, so nothing new to learn from interacting with the map, but that was very important. Shelf of paranormal books. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Look through it. Amidst the various books you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These 3 things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book and many others in the shelf is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance on the other hand can basically take care of anything, though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you are ill in the first place. Does the book say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest for magnesium from, how to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's a chapter on the ancient Syria's tradition of using duck gallbladder to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? Dorky, what books are these? That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. And let's do Inland Empire. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book comes apparent. The title of it reads Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. What's the pale? The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. What's this book about? The book contains description of various pseudo-scientific therapies, alternative medicines and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as literature. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked bodies with a vanik or hand broom made from the leafy twigs of young birch tree from the near pale. Sounds invigorating. It is, and good for the circulation too. What else? It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. What does this pale-aged liquor do? Among other benefits, it's alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable. I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there? For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale, though a sidebar mentions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. Anything else of note? There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to firm their marital obligations. I probably need that. Excuse me, sir? I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it. And I will someday. I want to pay my rent at least one day.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. A curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavour. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependence. What would forge ties between us working people? Good practice for fighting our common enemy.
Hey there! Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they bring into this space. Fighting? Enemy? My philosophy is everyone just getting along.
So are you the owner of the
I
store?
am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work. Your daughter's the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. You talk to her? Yes. Great, on a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store. She's polite and helpful. My precious, she's immensely satisfied with the answer. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as Annette. All this pressure has made her really anxious. Do you know she's been chewing her nails? Got her, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. A part of hers too, clearly. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can if she has enough willpower. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, madam. It's obviously she can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without a change. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole. All of a sudden she exhales sharply, her shoulders slump down. Oh no, hold on, I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you, my husband. He tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called me a dull mind. All the stress. Sounds like both her husband and her mother treat her the way she treats Annette. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course, absolutely perverse energies around that person, but my husband is completely different, of course. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes. My husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter, soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. Wait, why is that? What's Grand Couronne? It's a proper place to live, one of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead, for sure. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore? He's made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you call a silent partner. Super silent, almost inaudibly so. Is she an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real threat she is. It would be nice if she had. No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really, not in this economy. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know. My husband and I quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. And hell freezes over. Never mind, it's not a good topic to get into. I had something else in mind. What if I want a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything's on the shelf. What? See those shelves, Geralt? Go, be drawn. So what types of books do you have? Everything's on the shelves? The shelves compel you, don't they? Alright, I'll take a look then. Fair enough, book peddler. I can't ask about the curse anymore. Why can't I ask about the curse?
Hello again, esteemed.
Oh, she's inside now.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain into the gutter. What are you doing now? Math, it's really difficult, like really? They say you need it to get rich, better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Suddenly she smiles and perks up, remembering something. Oh, I found something while you were away. What is it? I thought this would fit you. She gives you a hat, almost exactly that on one Dick Mann wears on the covers, like a thanks for helping out. Not me, the city I mean, like a detective cast. Wait, where did you get it? Just what Dick Mann would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go in there. Okay, I get it. I can look just like Dick Mann, except I'm an actual police officer. Yeah, I bet it looks good on you, really serious. Suddenly she looks back at the infernal scribblings on her nose. Right, I have to get back to my homework now before Mom notices. Man, this is hard. I can't ask about the damn curse anymore, but we got a new hat. And it's great. If anything, this white-rimmed hat looks even better than the hat Dick Mullen wears. Dick Mullen is stupid and not even real. You're real. Your brain's real. Your real brain is inside the hat. And I look smart, so I am smarter now.
Hi, Ace Detective.
That's a real good reward. That hat is a really good reward for helping the girl out. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
She's right. Those curtains give off some eerie vibes. Better not to mess with. What's so eerie about them? By way of those mysterious ornaments from the Dark Isles. Dark Isles? What's going on? Do you realize what's out there upon the mist-shrouded islands of Ile de Fantôme in Semenine? Eerie pygmies and white shamans with practicing unnatural mysticism? Yes, I've sensed that. It's terrifying. They lurk in the tropical pale of Semenine, casting strange magics on everyone. Ignore the curtains or suffer the consequences. Examine the strange cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm in an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks and straws inside a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, it's a traditional Simonese ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Simonese? Inhabitants of the Ile de Fantôme and the Seminin Islands down south. Don't listen to what Inland Empire has told you, it's a beautiful place with a rich and unique culture. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. What's behind the curtains? Nothing? Now please go back to browsing books, she fiddles with her pen. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to pull a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. And I'm saving before I'm doing that, in case I die. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limit for customers. Her hand was closed around her pen, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling, why is everyone always messing with those curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid? No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you, no, please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. Man, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She sobs abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be impolite. Just please don't go there. You can't allow that. I can't allow it. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond that threshold. You do? My gods, even more reasons to not mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. I'll think about it for a while. Thank you. Let's just talk about the first, right? About this first. There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown. What are you, coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. And let's talk to her again. But let's do that tomorrow in the next episode. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Bye.